Good Monday morning after a total washout yesterday for the most part. We got a beautiful day on tap today, even though it doesn't look like it on CBS Sports Network, but I swear it's going to be nice outside. Actually, a couple of days. Is that more smoke? Is that what that is today?
We are having some air issues again today.
Oh, no.
I don't know that it's smoke, but there's a lot of humidity and air quality not great.
I thought today was supposed to be beautiful and no clouds, and now I'm seeing all this air quality stuff and smoke. But
hot as balls. It's supposed to be 90, feeling like 100.
Yes, that is right, with the high humidity. But this is what July is, and July is also supposed to be a time where the two teams here in New York in baseball are supposed to be heating up and playing great baseball. And as we see them again over the weekend, not so much. 2 out of 3, the Yankees lose to the Rockies. 2 out of 3, the Mets lose to the Dodgers. The Mets are completely done. There is no conversation that I will entertain that they are going to figure it out. The conversation that they need to figure out is if they're going to trade Verlander, Scherzer, and others at the deadline. And the Yankees are on the road to nowhere, too. I really, really want to make a case for them that they can figure it out, but it is just not happening. And now you're going to tell me the bullpen, which has been the strength for them the entire year, is now falling apart? Well, that's not a good thing. Okay, we've got Jerry in for Boomer. We've got CeeLo in for Jerry. We've got Fleegs in for Al. Eddie and I are in our regular spots. But good morning, Jerry. How's it going?
Hey, what's up, G? How are you?
I'm doing well. I had a long weekend with my father-in-law who likes to party. He is a man who is in his 60s, and he loves to get after it still.
Good for you and him. That's great.
Yes, and it is up to me because Gina has definitely taken her foot off the gas pedal when it comes to the going out. Mm-hmm. It is up to me to satisfy this man's thirst for entertainment.
So you were the party host.
Yes. And on Friday, I stayed out later than I've ever stayed out in Sayville because of this man. And I left the sliding glass door open when we came home.
Oh, boy.
I woke up on the couch.
With a deer in your family room.
No, but about 45 flies and mosquitoes.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. Yes.
So what time was it when you got home?
I don't know if I want to share that.
3?
No. 1:30.
Oh, that's not bad. Sure.
Not bad.
Nah, 1:30. What's wrong with being out to
1:30 is I'm up 22 hours straight, man.
So what? C-Mac's leaving here. He's been up for 24 hours right now. He hasn't even had a drink.
But he's working.
Yeah, come on. It's Friday. That's a good thing. I got home Friday at midnight, and the only reason we left was because we had a baseball tournament an hour away with the first game at 9:30 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So we had to be up and out by 7:15. Otherwise, I would have stayed out till 1:30.
Man, oh, man.
Friday.
Yeah, I know, but it was tough to recover. It really was. No nap in the afternoon, just went after it. I believe we started, as we went out, I went to the driving range with him at about 12:30. And then by 1:30, we had made our first stop at a local establishment. Hung out there for a little bit.
Oh, so this was okay.
Yeah.
So it's not that you got in at 1:30 as much as it started at noon.
Yeah, and then we went out to dinner with the family on Friday evening.
And then you left again.
And then we got home, and he goes, let's go out for another hour. 6 hours later, we come into the house, and I leave the sliding glass door open. And then I also wake up, look at my phone, and the first thing I see is a picture of me and 3 women on the Portly Villager Instagram page.
Really? Look at you.
One of which, though, was the owner, right, and her friends. So it wasn't like a weird thing.
I understand.
Gina knows.
Plus, you're with your wife's father.
Right, exactly. So it wasn't like anything nefarious was going on here. But I said, just picture that. Flies buzzing around the house. I'm completely hungover. I look at my phone, and the first thing I see is evidence of this night on Instagram.
Is there anything worse than waking up not having a clear picture of what happened the night before?
Yeah, it's not good. It's not healthy. I don't condone it at all. It's funny because, and the reason why I bring this up is it's funny because it's my father-in-law who's in his 60s who is
ready to rock.
Like he just needs to be going all the time.
Yeah.
He lives down in Florida, and he's got a group of friends that are in like a cigar bar thing. They play poker together, and he's out all hours of the night. So like his schedule is he's up until 1, 2 in the morning. So this is what he does.
I know when Al used to drink and used to, drink to excess, from time to time, he would have the blackouts.
Yeah, I know.
And he really wouldn't know what happened. And I've never had that, but there's still that sense of, I say something stupid.
Yeah, I know.
Did you? Because you really don't.
The anxiety. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
you had it worse than me.
Right. And this is not a normal occurrence for me any longer as I'm in my 40s and the 2 young children, but this is, and I felt it was my duty to keep up with him. That was the job as the son-in-law this weekend was to do that.
And then what'd you do Saturday with him?
Saturday,
you didn't repeat it, did you?
What's that?
You didn't repeat it,
No,
did you?
no. We did. We took the boat over to Ocean Beach. Gina was with us. It was a little more tame.
Okay.
So plus I had to drive the boat back, so I wasn't getting out of control. He was definitely was getting his mojo going.
And then you snuck out to the strip club at midnight.
No. No, we got home. We were asleep because we had Sunday morning golf. We had to sneak in before the thunderstorms.
You got that in yesterday?
We did. We got 7 holes in. Some groups got 9 holes in, and then it started pouring and raining, and They opened the Portly Villager at 7:30 a.m. We had a couple of drinks, and I got 13 egg sandwiches for everybody.
And you just got home.
Yeah, no. No, I came home, took a nap, and I'm okay now.
No, good for you.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Boy, it was pouring by me at 6 o'clock already.
Yeah, we were lucky. We had a window, and we were moving, and we're
for
determined. We are determined.
No,
I'm
that's
telling
great.
you. All right, so. It's just so frustrating. It's really funny. As I'm watching, it's not funny anymore, actually. It's really disgusting what's going on with these teams. But 3-1 in the 8th inning. My father-in-law is also a big baseball fan. He does follow New York baseball because of me and everything else. And he goes, I'm telling you right now, the Yankees bullpen's going to blow this game. I'm like, what are you talking about? I mean, bullpen's been good. He's like, I just know it. Garrett Cole, he had pitched really well. Not Garrett Cole, but you know what I'm talking about. Like it's constant negativity he's throwing at me. Constant negativity. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be positive for once because I'm usually the negative guy. I'm going to be positive. Yeah. They're going to shut him down. They got all the guys lined up. Aaron Boone's going to go to his best guys. And the next thing you know, whap, whap, whap. Then they take the lead again. Then whap again. And it's 8-7. And I'm sitting there laughing at this point because of the total meltdown and all the craziness that happened in those last couple innings. And I know that something, I'll give C-Mac credit because as I was driving in the other day, he did bring up something that I think we're all guilty of, is like every time the Yankees lose, it's a referendum on their last decade.
Right.
And I think the reason why we do that is because it feels like the season is going to end the same way that it did, and they never addressed their big problems in the offseason, just a repeat of the same story over and over again. So that's why fans, and I've said that before, when they lose, you bring up the same Brian Cashman stuff, but what this team this year, the issues are simple. They don't have their best player. They're in the toughest division in baseball, and their starting pitching has not been consistent outside of Garrett Cole. And obviously the offense without Aaron Judge is not going to be very good. But, I mean, you know what the problems are, and I don't know if you can fix them this year because Aaron Judge, we have no idea when he's coming back and how well he's going to play. I don't know how the hell this rotation is going to turn into something that is postseason ready. The bullpen, you hope, is going to be the good version, not the bad version when you get into September and maybe the playoffs. But this is a team that when you look around, I mean, look at the Baltimore Orioles, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, they don't lose.
Right. I mean, can the Yankees compete with that young, up-and-coming team like the Baltimore Orioles and some of the better teams in the American League without a healthy Aaron Judge? The answer to that is a clear no.
I agree, and they're a team that we talked about a lot last week with Sal, or 2 weeks ago, whatever it was. As much as they were a good team, when Aaron Judge left them, we sat there and said, keep your head above water, keep your head above water. And for the most part, they've done that. I mean, you look at them, they're still, 6 games over 500?
Yeah.
They're not a bad team, and I've said this repeatedly. They're also not a very good team. They're very average is what they are, and they're a little bit better than average. And right now they find themselves on the outside looking in terms of the wild card race. But you've got the trade deadline coming up. I'm with you. If and when Aaron Judge comes back, I don't know if he comes back swinging a hot bat. It could take him a little while to get going, but they do need him in the lineup. You take him out of this lineup, what are they exactly? You've got bloated contracts like Giancarlo Stanton, who continues to do really nothing. for the most part. I know he's had a moment here or there, but he's given you next to nothing. He walks a lot, great, but you have him there to hit home runs and driving runs, and he's not doing a whole hell of a lot of that. Josh Donaldson, finally, he's gone. He's hurt. You don't have to worry about him right now. But you look up and down the lineup, there's just not a lot there. The pitching has been relatively inconsistent at times, yes, but Garrett Cole has given you everything you want from him. Clark Schmidt has gotten better and better. Nestor Cortez is another guy who's not there because of injury. I think if the Yankees make a couple of significant moves, I mean an outfielder, and I keep hearing the name Cody Bellinger. Okay, I guess. I'm not sure if that's the guy you want or you're going to get, but they need a pitcher. They need an outfielder. That, to me, is pretty set. I don't know who and how aggressive they'll be and who they go after. I don't know if all this stuff with Ohtani has legs or not. I'm really not sure. I was watching John Heyman the other night on MLB Network saying he does believe the Angels are going to try and move him. Then there's other people that say there's no way they're going to move him because of all the contracts and advertisers attached to him in L.A. Who knows? We'll find out in another few weeks. But they need to make moves because right now to keep up in that division, you look old and slow. And I know they're not in certain spots. I mean, Volpe's a young kid. You got Peraza came up yesterday. You have some young pieces, but man, you look around baseball, they feel like an old team.
Well, especially without their superstar, because there are some people, whether it's a coach or a player, that can mask some of the issues that a team has because they're such a dominant force, and that's what Aaron Judge has done when he's been healthy for the Yankees. And then when he's not there, I mean, your team is totally exposed.
Yeah.
And now at least Josh Donaldson's going to be out of the lineup now with an injury, and I would not be surprised if you don't see him for the rest of the year, even if he gets healthy. Like, this is the perfect way to just slough him off into the sea for the rest of the season. And hopefully Peraza can come up, and he did. He had a big hit yesterday. He is, by the way, John Sterling calls him Parazza. He calls him Parazza.
Yeah.
Everybody else calls it. Is he right?
I don't know.
Right?
That's a great question.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But anyway, so hopefully he injects the life into this lineup that everybody has been asking for him to come up over the last couple of weeks. But yeah, it's ugly, and it's certainly not fun. And yes, they are tied for last place. Now, it's different when you're tied for last place in the AL East than some of these other divisions where these teams are 30 games under 500. But yes, the facts are that you are tied with the Boston Red Sox for last place.
If they played, and I know they don't, but I mean, to your point, if they played in the American League Central, they'd be in first place.
Yeah.
But they don't. They're in a division with really good up-and-coming teams, and that's kind of the way it goes. And baseball's so funny, too, because I'm watching yesterday, and I did watch a good portion of the Yankee game, and you're sitting there. I think I even read this morning. I'd have to double-check it, but I think I read it's the first time in the history of the franchise that they gave up 3 multiple-run leads in a single game. I got to check that. I could be wrong about that.
No, I mean, that sounds 3 multiple run leads.
Something years. That's crazy to think that. But anyway, I'm watching the game, and, they're taking these leads, and you're thinking, with the way the bullpen is pitched, and maybe we got too comfortable with what the bullpen has been. But at this point, you kind of feel like they are what they are. They've been one of the best bullpens in all of baseball. And I'm thinking, you know what? It's a hell of a job. Go out to Colorado. You get 2 out of 3. You go to Anaheim. Maybe you get 2 out. And you're thinking, this is kind of what I know the Cubs series wasn't great, but for the most part, they've done a decent job. Instead, you figure out a way to lose that game or give it away or whatever word you want to use. And we sit here like, God, they stink. God, it's the same old Yankees. Had they actually won that game where they should have 2 different times, we might be singing a different tune this morning. Hey, they just bought another series and more time. Judge taking BP. But
yeah,
that's the way
what I think
goes.
I think it would have been they did what they were supposed to do, and it would have been nice if they would have swept this team because they're terrible. But they won the series, and they did what they were supposed to do against one of the worst teams in baseball. And you would have liked to see them. I mean, the bats woke up towards the end of the game yesterday, but I mean, for the most part,
how many 1, 2, 3 innings were there? 4. I know.
I mean, and then on Friday too, they scored 2 runs.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a miserable pitching team in Colorado, and it's not just the air out there. They're just bad.
I really thought, and I was going to place the bet, and I forgot, and then the game had started. I wanted to look up the over-under on the runs because I figured new hitting coach, and usually when moves like that are made, I shouldn't say usually, but a lot of times you will get a big jolt quick, and then things kind of settle back to what they were.
Sure.
I thought for sure on Friday, new hitting coach, new attitude from Sean Casey in Colorado off the All-Star break. I thought the Yankees were a lock Maybe not for Saturday and Sunday, but I thought Friday night they were going to put up 10 runs.
Didn't
And
happen.
they gave you nothing.
Didn't happen.
Nothing.
Yep. Welcome back to baseball in New York.
I know. Well, listen, could have been worse. You could have, let off the game with a base hit and then not had another hit for like 24 hours. I could have done that. I mean, I suppose that's certainly possible.
By the way, Fleeks found that stat that you were looking at. I mean, it is a bit obscure.
Okay.
So, 3-1 lead in the 8th inning.
Right.
7-5 lead in the 11th inning. They lost the game 8-7. It's the first loss in Yankees history where they had multiple leads of 2+ runs in the 8th inning or later.
That's what it was, right.
So, yeah, a little bit obscure.
It is obscure, and only because it's 100 and how many years of Yankee baseball. It's pretty nuts, actually.
Yep. Man, I tell you, my guy in the garage, Nate, in the morning,
Yeah.
he's a huge sports fan. And he ended up taking his kids to the indoor water park at the American Dream.
Oh, yeah, over in
weekend.
Secaucus, yeah.
Right. So that to me, I told him, I said, listen, man,
You're out.
Indoor water park, my worst nightmare. But good for you, being a good dad, bringing your kids there. I mean, it has nothing. It's just the germs and the Band-Aids and the bloody noses and the people who don't wipe properly.
Yes.
All of those things. So he goes, you know what, though? He goes, I got that close to MetLife Stadium, and I realized that baseball season is over for me.
That's it.
And he's a Mets fan.
But he goes into football.
He goes, yeah, but he goes, I just saw that stadium, and I started thinking about it, and I started thinking about Aaron Rodgers, I started thinking about the Jets and Hard Knocks, and baseball season ended for me when I pulled into that parking lot.
I understand. I get it.
And I don't think he's alone. I don't think he's alone, man, especially if you're a Jets and Mets fan. Like, training camp, get here.
Think about the excitement you've got with 100% with the Jets, and we know that, and watching Aaron Rodgers and Tahoe, which at some point I'd like to talk about that this morning.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I don't know if you saw any of it this weekend.
I saw a lot of Steph Curry. I saw his eagle putt to win the tournament.
Oh, it was absolutely outstanding.
And his hole-in-one.
So there's that. But you've got so much excitement with the Jets. I think the Giant fan is cautiously optimistic. I think the Giant fan is hoping for as good of a season as last year, maybe a little bit better, but also understands this might be a little tougher this year because you're not going to sneak up on anybody. But whatever. You've got excitement if you're a Jet or a Giant fan. If you're a Yankee fan, it feels like more of the same, if not worse. And if you're a Met fan, you cannot. And this Sal, I'm going to punch Sal in the face when I see him. Is he selling me on that stupid 4-game winning streak 2 weeks ago?
Well,
and I was buying. I'm not going to lie to you. I was buying in a little bit. And especially after they won that game Friday night in San Diego, I'm thinking, God darn, man, they get one of these next two. You know what? They got a little bit of momentum, and they lose both of them, and they come out the gate to lose. So whatever. I thought of this, though, really quick because you brought up the water park over at American Dream.
Yeah.
All right, so you know that I went to Virginia for a baseball tournament a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Okay. So we were in Kingsmill, right in Williamsburg. So there they have Busch Gardens. And they have the water park. I forget the name of it. Really nice place, but I thought of you when I got this group text. So we were only going for a couple of days. Joseph wanted to just hang out and play golf and stay by the pool at the resort so that we didn't do the water park. A lot of the guys did with their kids. So it was a bad weather day. It was hot and humid.
Yeah.
And so long story short, one of the moms wrote, how was the water park? Is it still open? And her friend Chris, one of the assistant coaches, writes, actually... He just got in the urine pool.
Yep.
When the horn went off for lightning. Mm-hmm. And one of the moms wrote back, what is the urine pool? He wrote back, well, it's supposed to be a nice pool, except the scent of urine was overwhelming.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man, I will die on that hill.
I thought of you immediately.
It's the word. People are disgusting.
Yes, they are.
For whatever reason, when they get into this shared water, they feel like they can do anything. Why?
Well, and you got kids in there. There's a lot of chlorine. It's not going to kill you. But I thought of you when I saw a urine pool. I thought, yep, that's she. And by the way, our comedian guy, Vic DiBattista, gave you guys a nice shout out on a video he posted. He was overwhelmed, as he said, by all the reaction from us playing his stuff on Friday. That is
great. Yes. Yeah, I mean, we were able to jam in a little Vic DiBattista in between the Long Island serial killer talk.
Well, I had to do something.
I know he brought a smile to our face.
Yes, he
and
did.
Dropped the F-bomb.
Yes, that's right.
When he called in, I know.
Yeah.
He's a comedian. It happens.
All right, we are just getting started on this Monday morning.